the Ocala Comic Con. William Baxter Experience.
Yeah, they should have been in the car.
Mike's gonna kill me. Hi, I'm here with Johnny Yong Bosch.
Yes.
And he was the Black Ranger. Which version of was it the
I was Adam the Black Ranger and Mighty Morphin, then I became Green Zeo and then Green Turbo.
So, which part of what was your favorite experience being a Power Ranger? What was your favorite, most memorable moment doing the show?
Gosh, there's a lot of moments in there. I was there for nearly 200 episodes and 2 movies, 3.5 years. There's a lot to choose from as far as experiences. So I don't know if there's one moment I can think of. There's just so many. I mean, just getting the role, you know, or getting cast. There's things for working on the show, making a lot of cool friends, you know.
I heard that it's kind of like it's like a family in a way when it comes to all the former Rangers and everything. And so
it is, you know, like I mean, but it's like any family. Some of you get along, some of you don't, you know. But yeah.
There's also you also do acoustics sets and everything when it comes to some of these events and everything too, right?
Yeah, not just acoustic. But sometimes my band comes with me, and but this time, yeah, we did an acoustic set.
Yeah, I saw some of it last night and everything. You guys were really good.
Well, last night it was. We did a couple songs, and then I realized we can't hear ourselves over these AC units blowing in the tent.
Yeah.
So I was like, I might as well just do an improv set. So that's when we just decided.
Yeah, hearing you playing the theme song to the show.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that got everybody cracked up and everything. That was really cool. But you know, what got you into acting, and how did you land this role?
I mean, basically, I just went to an audition. It's an open cattle call that they had for Power Rangers, and that was the first thing I ever auditioned for. I booked that job. I mean, that was my intro into acting, really.
So, what other things have you done after Power Rangers and everything that you're like so proud of and everything that you can say that was some real quality work?
I never say that.
You never do?
No, I mean, I am proud of a lot of things, but I never go like, that's some quality work I did on that there. You know, I did a wonderful job. No, I mean, anytime, even if I hear myself in, even though I might have done a decent job, there's always room for improvement in anything.
But you don't stack everything, you don't categorize and number your favorite moments in life and everything. It's all just basically one giant life experience, right?
No, not necessarily. I mean, there are moments, but it's hard to pick a specific moment, you know, because there are so many moments. Like, I mean, it's just like in life, you look back and you go like, oh, high school was pretty cool for various different reasons. It wasn't cool for other reasons. It's kind of like that. You know, my experiences throughout, I've always had, like any one of these shows that I worked on, there's something really great about it. You know?
I also see that you've done a few albums and everything.
Yeah, we've got a few albums.
Now the name of your band is
I Shine.
I Shine and everything. How many albums have you cut?
I think we have total probably 13, 14 something.
Really?
Some of them are digital only, but yeah.
Wow, that is awesome.
I think we have 8 hard copies and the rest are digital.
So, okay, I asked this last year, Steve and everything, about, there was back then, it was rumored that there was going to be a Power Rangers reboot movie and everything.
Right.
I'm sure everybody that's been involved in this Power Rangers universe and everything, how do you feel about it being rebooted and reimagined for a new generation and everything? Do you think it's a good thing, or do you think it's going to, you know, put a stain on what the legacy of what Power Rangers has done in the past for the past 2 generations?
I mean, I think I have nothing against them making a movie. I think that's fine. I have no issues with it. I think it's cool. It's carrying on that legacy, and so I'm cool with it, you know. And I mean, if the movie sucks, which I kind of doubt it will, I think it'll be pretty good. But if it does suck, I don't think it's gonna stain Power Rangers. It might stain, you know, Saban in making movies, but but maybe even not, because the guy's got so much money, he can just keep making movies. It doesn't matter. But I think it'll be fun.
So what was it like working under that banner and everything, though? I mean, what was it like, the Saban banner and everything?
For Saban?
Saban, yeah.
I mean, it was, you know, there was good and there was bad, you know. I mean, I met the guy probably twice in my entire life. He's definitely a businessman. There's some things that I personally, if I were in his shoes, would not have done the things that he had done. I probably would have taken care of people a little better, crew and anybody else that was involved. But, you know, I mean, that's why he's so rich. You know? So I guess it depends on what or how you want to leave this life. You want people to think you were a great person or a greedy bastard. You know, it's your choice, really. You know, so it's his choice. He's rich, filthy rich. He doesn't care.
I mean, I'm sure it was a grueling schedule.
It was tough, but I mean, it was not a big deal. Like, I enjoyed every moment. You know? Yeah. Nothing against him on that. I didn't care. I loved it.
I know a lot of training and everything.
No, I mean, I studied martial arts beforehand. We didn't really. I mean, I trained with the stunt guys just because I liked hanging out with them.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, not everybody did that. I think a couple of times they did have some of the girls go through some training, but I just hung out with them.
So would you say about maybe 90%, about 70-90% of the time it was mostly the stuntmans that we see on the screen and everything when they had the helmets on and doing a lot of the fighting?
Any helmet head stuff was probably stunt guys or stock footage from Japan. The movie was, I mean, I did more of my stunts in the movie than anyone else because my stunt double broke his leg, and so I had to step in and do basically all the ninja stuff. But even then, you know, there's all the helmet head stuff. You know, they had like stunt guys doing this for various reasons. Just like they didn't have us actually jumping out of a flying plane. You know? Yeah, it's like a 40-foot high plane or something. If that, 20 foot. Or something.
Oh man, I can remember seeing because my younger brother was really into Power Rangers, and I had to take him to see the movie and everything, and I actually would have to say I enjoyed that first movie. Yeah. I mean, it was very incredible. I mean, I liked the suits, the way they modified the suits and everything.
Yeah, I thought the suits. I think the suits from our movie, I think they look better than the new ones.
Yeah.
I mean, the actual suits of the new ones are pretty cool, but I didn't really like the helmets as much.
Yeah.
I really didn't like the Black Ranger's helmet because I couldn't really tell it was a mask. It was kind of too weird.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I'm gonna stop taking up a lot of your time, man. I really appreciate you taking the time, and also check out their CDs. As I said, he's really good. He's really good on guitar and everything. And again, Johnny. Thanks again. Thank you.
This is Ocala Comic Con 2016 and this review show.
Cheryl Major, and the business is Faye's Tiny Toes and Bows, and I've been doing this probably for 5 or 6 years, and I just got involved with the Comic Cons because my son runs Ocala Comic Con, and I sell tutus and bows and headbands and lanyards and some jewelry that I make. Most of my items are like $5, 2 for $8. My name's Cheryl Major, and you can contact me at Faye'sTinyToesandBows.com or on Facebook.
My name is Travis. I have been drawing for as long as I can remember. led me to this. I've been doing prints and everything, following the convention scene for about 10 years. And recently been doing these comics, Terminus and Power. Really enjoy doing comics more than anything, so it's following my passion for sure. Terminus is another passion. It's Greek gods. They're in modern times. It's kind of got a pulp and noir feel, which I really enjoy those kind of movies. Power is another mix of passions. It's Sentai, so like Power Rangers and all that, but with a horror and action base because I grew up on horror movies. And so I just really enjoy working on all these and kind of telling my own story. And absolutely love when people come up through everything. As far as the prints, I've just been following my passions. It's comic books, lots of Batman love, lots of Rangers. I kind of fell into being a Ranger artist. Started doing a little bit of Ranger art just when the Rangers were kind of coming back into big popularity, and kept getting asked to do more and more and more. So here I am with all sorts of Ranger stuff, and then getting back into my comics. All right, so this is Power. This is a Sentai-based book. It's got a horror backdrop, and it's, of course, filled with action, as Sentai tends to be. Sentai you'll probably know more as Power Rangers or Voltron, the multicolored teams that have robots. I love that genre. I love giant robots. I love superheroes, which is basically what the teams are. And I love horror, so I just put it all together into this book. Kind of follows these teens getting these superpowers and the consequences that happen when people, like teenagers, get way too much power way too quickly, and the things that go well and the things that go very wrong.
All right, guys, do your shtick.
Alright, cool. What's going on, everybody? We're the Renaissance Nerds. I'm Official Ness. World of Comics. Bombay Customs.
That's Larry himself.
That's Larry himself. And we are four extraordinary gentlemen, I guess you would say. Three of us are artists. Hey, I'm extraordinary. I know my boys are. We got World of Comics pop-up shop. 3 artists in here. We collectively come together like Voltron to make the Renaissance Nerds experience happen. Check us out. We're on the social medias. We're all over the place. At Larry himself, at Bombay Customs, at Official Ness, at World of Comics.
Shit, you forgot at Renaissance Nerds.
And at Renaissance Nerds. The Renaissance Nerds. I always forget that. Thank you.
So I enjoy cosplay because it's a whole nother type of feel. You get to be whoever you want, do whatever you want to do, get to totally take over the character, and people really appreciate you for it. You could be a Joe Schmo and no one likes you, no one pays any attention, no one even waves hi to you, but you come to cosplay, next thing you know, you're a superhero.
Alright, with Patty Hawkins and everything, he's been doing a lot of the MC work around here at the Ocala Comic Con. One thing I do like to say, I love your taste in shoes, as if you can all see right there. Chuck Taylor's awesome.
Cool guys who were running this before Dr. Who.
So anyway, how long have you been doing MC work and stuff like that, going around?
I sort of fell into it. I've been a performer for Disney for 10 years now, doing acting work and crowd work. I never really was an MC sort of guy, but I sort of like fallen on into it because it was like, well, you can perform, I do stand-up comedy and stuff like that, so I've segued on into it because there's an interesting niche when it comes to the convention scene about you can get MCs and stuff, but are they geeks or do they at least have a grasp of the geek vocabulary culturally? And that's where I tend to sort of can come on into it. So I can go out and work with crowds or whatever, but I can give a shot and I can recognize, hey, Homestuck, how you doing? Hey, oh wow, Earth 2 and Robin. I haven't seen too many of those, man. Good job. because I'm a geek first and a performer second. And the nice thing is that I kind of can speak both languages, so I can translate. I think it's healthy. And the nice thing is that I think people realize regularly I try to show what I call providence. I do this like in comedy act or pontificating or blocking, whatever. It's just like, I'm just like you. And maybe in some ways I'm worse than you. You know, I was just, you know, my first convention was in 1981 at Comic Con in Miami. And yeah, back in the days when guys were buying books, not comic books, books. And if you said the word sci-fi around them, drop them in Umbridge, you'd be like, it's science fiction. And some of those guys are still around, but I always say what the asteroid did to the dinosaurs, Star Wars did to most of those guys.
Yeah.
But they're still around, and we live a really interesting time in geek culture because we have 5 generations under this roof, and we've never had that before. Yeah, we've got those older guys from like we got my generation, Greg Martin generation, we got the 90s, we got the double aughts, I call them Grand Theft Auto generation, and then you got the millennials, which it's kind of become a bit of a dirty word, and I think that's a little unfair. I mean, everybody always bitches about kids. By the same token, maybe a little bit there, maybe a little bit there too, what they're trying to force everybody else to kind of conform to their sense of social justice. And that's a more controversial subject, I know, but as I often say, somewhere between Gamergate and the Mary Sue, and then we've lost that around geek culture. And I really like to get that back with a focus on being sensible and being fair, and I think it can certainly be achieved.
Do you think it's being over-marketed? Culture type of thing, like being...
Yeah, they're...
Kind of like how grunge got over-marketed. But
Yeah,
real quick, one last thing.
Sure.
Craziest moment at convention. There's a lot of that.
Craziest moment? Standing at a urinal next to... No, actually, I take that back. No, craziest moment was just recently I sat down with a comic book author and a novelist that I really admire. We had a mutual friend, so I've become kind of friends with them. Last week at McDonald's, he sat down, we're eating dinner, and he was talking about how crazy it was that 30 years ago he was going to his live coach in the 70s, and he had George Takei sign some Star Trek posters, and then 30 years later, he was at George Takei's wedding, front row as an honored guest. He's like, isn't it amazing like that? And now it's just like, kind of the same way that 30 years ago, I was recently reading your comic books, and now here I am, eating chips and salsa with you.
It's like with Chuck Dixon and everything. I remember reading Nightfall, you know, trying to rush to get each issue and everything to see what was going on. Batman's back's been broken, there's a new Batman. And here I am, Chuck Dixon interviewing him, getting his daughter there. And I'm like, this was my big geek moment, you know. So, but I appreciate your time, brother.
Thank you so much.
We're on the William Baxter Experience. All right. My name's Larry Watts. I'm a Florida-based comic book artist. I live in Gainesville, Florida, and I draw a variety of books from Evil Dead to Army of Darkness, Robin Hood, Metal Locust, and all sorts of stuff. Do you have any questions, Mr. Baxter?
Yes, I do. What inspired you?
What inspired me? Well, I've always wanted to draw comics since I was a kid. But really, it was a roommate of mine in my 20s had a pretty big comic book collection, and started reading the stuff. Got me back into comic book shops. I just kind of snowballed from there.
How long have you been doing it now?
I broke in probably around 2012. And it's 2016, so I've been working professionally for about 4 years, but I've been trying to get in since about 2009, 2010.
What's been your favorite work so far?
Definitely my favorite book that I've had a chance to work on. Well, it's kind of tough, man. I really enjoy working on Evil Dead, but I also really enjoyed working on Robin Hood, just because the writer for Robin Hood's one of my best friends, and working with your friends is always good. You know, I feel like that's some of the best work you'll ever do is when you're having a good time and able to talk to the other creators about what you're working on.
So what is your future goals and everything? What exactly is
my future goals?
Yeah.
You know, just
do you want to stay independent, or do you want to try to get that?
Oh, I mean,
the big two.
I'd love to work at the big two eventually. You know, right now I split my time up between doing comic books and graphic design and concept art for video games. So as long as I'm doing something art related, I'm pretty happy. But you know, I've always said I want to draw Spider-Man by the time I'm 50. You know, for Marvel. So you know, that's
a heck of a goal. That's a goal to go live by.
Sure. So you know, that's kind of like, you know, one of the bucket list items. But you know, drawing Ash, you know, Army of Darkness stuff, that was a bucket list item. Yeah, just, you know, as long as I can continue to have fun, man, just keep drawing. As long as I'm not you know, working a job that I hate, consider the day a victory.
Yeah. All right, man.
Well, yeah, it was good, man. Thanks for having me on the show. You know, I have to check out the channel and stuff, but if anyone out there is interested, you know, you can check out more of my work at LarryWatts.com. You can follow me on Twitter, LarryEWatts_art. And just check me out on Facebook or Instagram. Just look me up. You should be able to find me. Appreciate it, man. Thanks so much.
All right, this is Joy, and this is Joy's Toys.
Joy's Toy Store.
Joy's Toy Store. All right. Well, I have to say I'm impressed, especially when it comes to those superpower figures. But no, how long have you been doing this?
Being a collector or selling?
All together.
Collector, well actually I was on MTV True Life for doing this.
Really?
But because I started when I was in high school, so that would probably be 98. So do the math, because I can.
You know, trust me, I don't want to do the math. I was in high school back in the
Yeah,
we'll do it later.
1998 to whatever now is, so I guess almost 20 years.
Wow.
I started collecting Star Wars, and then just kept going, and now I do it as full-time.
Wow. What is probably the most, the coolest find that you've ever had? Like that big treasure that you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I found that here for that price.
I got a guy from Canada actually contacted me, and I ended up getting Ecto 1 for $3 I got 22 superpowers. I got all of that type of stuff for a really good deal. So.
Wow. Now I remember the best buy that I ever found was at a yard sale, big giant yard sale at this WTI Institute, and they had Battle Armor Skeletor still in the package, selling it for $2. So I held on to that thing for a while. You know, it went for 80 on eBay, so I was shocked. But yeah, this is just like a dream job for you.
It is. It's fun. I take care of my son and I sell toys.
There, that's the best thing to do. So, all right. Well, appreciate your
Hey, I'm I'm Brian Collins. I'm at Ocala Comic Con. I make lowbrow and pop surreal art, and I hope you enjoy it.
I've been making art for my entire life. I'm inspired by music, strange dreams, video games, and old black and white horror movies. So this is my Alice in Wonderland themed piece. The original was done in colored pencils, and I worked on it for a period of about 3 months to finally get it all put together. And yeah, I think the original was about 14 by 18, somewhere in that range, 16 by 20.
Hi, my name is Andrew Miller, and I'm here volunteering and co-working with the Comic Con 2016. We're here in Ocala.
So how does it feel to be part of something like this?
It feels great. Yeah. Being part of something bigger than yourself. And I like working as the collective team. We all work on the parts together, goes on, and it just has a great feeling because everybody seems to enjoy themselves here. I did this the first time last year, and what I get is that anybody can be anything they want to be with minimal judgment. Not all, no judgment at all, but minimal judgment. I feel like I can be at home, I can be at peace. I don't worry about anybody looking at me in a weird way because we're all a little strange.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about it. We all can embrace that together as one. So having a smaller town like Ocala, Florida, put something on like this is a great feeling. Chris Major, good.
I remember when I was looking through a magazine and I saw that this was mentioned in that magazine. It was the first annual, the first one, and I was reading about it. I'm like, we got to go to this. There's something like this nearby, out of one county down.
You have to support your local stuff. You know, the first 3 years it was a little bit of a struggle, but Chris Major and DJ kept going. It's doing such a great thing. People keep coming out and supporting people from all over the area, from Orlando, from Tampa, come here to help. So we've got a lot of friends that want to put this on. We have a lot of folks in the area who love coming to see this.
I'll tell you one thing, is that when I started I'm doing YouTube for about a year now, and at first I was always nervous about asking somebody questions and putting them on camera about it, more so than they would feel.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, especially this year, it's like, hey, no problem, I'd love to do it. And I have to say, it's a wonderful environment to be in. It makes you feel like yourself.
That's what I love about it. That's why I keep doing it. That's what I do every year. As long as we can continue to do this here at the Hilton Hotel or wherever facility will let us do this. I will be a part of this as long as I can.
Last night I heard you perform a few sets and everything. I had to say you sounded pretty good. I know you were a little critical. We were talking earlier and everything.
I am my own biggest critic.
Same here.
And I have to be because I don't want to. I want to just improve. You want to be, as a human being, any kind of person you want to progress and become better. Once you stop progressing, I feel like you're just a waste of space, a waste of breath. So if we all try to become better, that's the best we can do in life. We can help each other out become better. And myself as a musician and as an artist, I'm just a guy who plays some songs, and I just want to express that through music.
It's like my wife used to tell me, or likes to tell me and everything. I'm my best fan and my worst critic.
Right. You have to be best fan. If you don't live yourself, nobody else will. But yeah, thank you for watching this, by the way. I appreciate it.
Oh man, I enjoyed it a lot. I just enjoyed the whole thing.
Well, my band's called Baseline. We're actually here from Ocala, Florida, and we play a good slew of shows, about maybe 2 or 3 a month, and we're into that because that's our passion. Right now, it's a hobby, but in the future it'll be our careers, and we're just seeing where it goes from there because we love doing music. That's it I can do in my life.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much for the time.
Go ahead and just shoot out your website and everything like that. Your email.
I'm Andrew Miller from Baseline. You go look us up on Bandcamp, Spotify, and iTunes. Also on Facebook and Instagram. All the fun social medias. Baseline Ocala or just Baseline. Thank you for having the interview. I appreciate it. Have a great day.
All right, then we get you to run that stuff down there.
walking around.
I don't know, I kind of cleaned her out like the first time. Except for any new stuff.
This is my wife's work, Bianca Roman Stump. She does all the paintings that you see here. She works tireless every day. Started about 3 years ago when she put a small painting of an octopus holding a sock puppet in a show at downtown Orlando called the Puppet Show. When we got to the show, before it was even open, the painting had sold, and she was inspired to quit her day job and start painting full time. And it is a full-time job. She's painting every minute of every day.
So where's she at right now?
She's in Philadelphia right now at a Comic Con, and she'll be going to Tampa Bay Comic Con soon as well. So we're based out of Orlando. So yeah, you can catch us in a lot of the Florida shows.
So what's your website?
She actually has on the business card, which I think is right here. She has a store envy. She primarily works off of Facebook as well, and she has an Instagram, Art of Bianca. Yep.
Do I get a discount?
This is your fault. Mom started the whole
Love.
These ones don't have the epoxy, right? So they just have multiple layers of like polyurethane silicone on them.
Hey, William Baxter here and everything. I'm here with Anthony Carrigan. He was on The Flash and Gotham, so he's one of the luckiest actors and everything who got to be in both the Batman universe and in the Flash universe. I have to ask you and everything, what is his experience doing, comic book television? I mean, it's so big. I mean, 10 years ago, if you put a comic book show on, it died in 5 episodes.
Oh, for sure.
But now it's just, it's opposite. Movies they're still popular, but the TV shows, I guess people are finally understanding it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think television is a kind of medium where you can really kind of engage with the characters a lot more and kind of follow them over some really cool storylines. And there are also so many storylines and so much to cover, so many characters that television is a great form to kind of to do that.
So how did you get into acting? I mean, what sparked you? You're like, yeah, I want to do that.
Well, I started acting as a kid, just doing children's theater, actually, and I just I really enjoyed it. I loved kind of telling stories and being expressive and creative, and so I kind of just continued doing that throughout, my teens, and then started doing Shakespeare when I was in like middle school, high school. Decided I wanted to go to college for acting, and so I did, and. Yeah, been working pretty steady since. So, yeah,
that's pretty cool, man. Now, you played a villain.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, it is. I'm sure it has its challenging moments, but it has to. Other than playing like the baby face, playing the heel has to be probably the most fun that you can have.
Oh, it's the best. Oh, it's so much fun. I mean, you get to just go in there and be a bad guy, and not just any bad guy. With when it comes to Gotham, I mean, you're in the Batman universe, the Batman mythology, which is so cool. And when the Flash, I mean, it's just like such an iconic character, and everyone on the show is just fantastic. So it's just really great things to be a part of. But I'm not gonna lie, being the villain is the best.
So, but also you mentioned being on both those shows and everything. It's two totally different type of atmospheres.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, they create different atmospheres. I think for The Flash is definitely, they're both very high production value, but, they tend to kind of have different audiences, but a lot of crossover as well. I mean, that's the cool thing is like you can have the DC world and have, two similar but very different TV shows.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
But I do have to say, out of the characters, what do you think so far that you played and everything? What do you think has been the best? I mean, more complex. I mean, the challenge.
Right. Well, I've definitely, I've really enjoyed both Gotham and the Flash. But with Gotham, I've had the chance to build on this character a lot more, and they're great as far as letting us kind of be creative and take the characters in a cool direction.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, you can watch them anytime. It's on Netflix and everything too.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Flash,
for sure.
Gotham, also The Forgotten, and anything else that you're doing?
Yeah, there's some good stuff. Yeah, good stuff coming up. We got a pilot for HBO coming out. Yeah, lots of fun stuff.
All right, man. Thanks again.
Right on. You got it. All right, have a good one, guys.
All right, we're back up to this.
I'll show you the dark side.
Well, that's another episode of that review show here at Comic Con. It's been a great year. It's been an absolutely great year. And this is been a great way to celebrate our first year anniversary by coming back to Comic Con. I said, can't thank Chris and his staff enough and everything. They accommodated me so well and did the interviews and everything. I really appreciate you guys participating. And again, don't forget to watch my kids their Comic Con show for the Toy Box, and they got some pretty good stuff this year. So don't forget to check us out. Check us out on Facebook, William Baxter Experience on Facebook, and also keep watching our new show, Local Spotlight. Just if you got any questions or anything like that, just go to WilliamBaxterExperience@gmail.com. Again, thanks for watching, and please keep on watching.